I'm here with Corey Young, creator and developer of GravWell, one of the really cool games that's making its premiere here at Gen Con. So Corey, thank you first off for taking time with us.
I'm just so glad to have that chance.
Awesome. Tell me about GravWell. How did it get started?
Well, I was working on it for a couple of years. It was originally just a study in catch-up mechanisms. Somebody would get behind and they could never catch up, or somebody could run away with the game. And if you ever play I'll explain how it plays in a minute, but it is always, you're always attracted to the ship that's closest to you. So there's a lot of, you're clustered together. I was here in the Cryptozoic booth last year pitching this game. Mm-hmm. It took 1 year to develop, for them to accept it and develop it, and I'm just blown away with how well they did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that process. What did it take for you to actually get this thing made for Cryptozoic?
Sure. Well, I've been playing with the game for quite a while. I've been designing games for about 6 years, and I'm getting pretty comfortable with coming up to somebody in the booth and saying, "Hey, who's the gatekeeper? Who can I talk to about new games?" And they're very receptive here, depending on how busy they are and things like that. I made the quick pitch, just explained this game is all about the mechanism. It's not a new skin on an old game, and it's very hard to compare it to anything else. So they were intrigued enough to say, okay, I'll sit down and take a demo of it. They took a demo and they said, okay, we'll take it. We'll take the prototype. About a week later, I sent a follow-up thank you email, just thanks for taking the time into consideration. And they responded the same day and said, we're going to do it. So the just happiest day of my life. Right?
Awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah. I've been at it 6 years, and this is the first one getting published.
Excellent.
So yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
So give me the basic breakdown of the game. You kind of explained the mechanics of it, but
sure.
What's the goal of the game?
The goal of the game, everybody controls a ship. It's on a linear track, a spiral track out from the center. You're trapped in the center and you're trying to get out. First player out wins. Really straightforward. The secret sauce to the game is you always move your ship toward the ship that's closest to you. So imagine basically your engines don't work, but your tractor beams do.
Okay.
So you're always, dragging yourself forward. Well, that ties you to the other players. You want to get away from them, but you're stuck with them.
Sure.
So it all becomes a matter of timing. On each turn, you have a hand with 6 cards. The deck is very simple. It has 26 cards, and they're lettered A to Z. You're going to pick one of those cards and put it out. Everybody reveals at the same time. The letter that's closest to A is going to move first.
Okay.
Well, if you play a big card that's toward the end of the alphabet, everybody's going to be moving around before you move. So that ship that's sitting right in front of you that you thought you'd be attracted to suddenly is behind you. Things like that. So there's a lot of moments in the game.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So it's just a bunch of back and forth like that. So people say it's a kind of a whiplash sort of game where you think you're going to be moving forward, but you're not. There are a lot of decisions in it though. So you can just, each of the cards that play early, like A, only move you 1 space. So each card has a letter that says how soon it will go and a number that says how far it will go.
Okay.
The biggest one in the deck is actually M, which is it moves you 10 as opposed to any of the others. But half the cards play before it and half of them play after. So you really don't know if you're going to make a big jump forward or backward. Now, you have a hand of 6 cards. Once per those 6 cards, you can do an emergency stop. And you can just say, I'm not moving this turn. So you can do that to be able to just sit still. You play 6, you have 6, you pick 1. Next round you have 5 to pick from, and so on. So your hand gets smaller and smaller. The whole game is 6 rounds of 6. So you have a 6-card hand, you get rid of it, you do another draft. Between each round you draft cards. And the person who's in last place gets to draft first. And so they get a little bit of knowledge of what the best cards to pick and things like that.
Yeah. I was talking with Eric Summer from Dice Tower a little bit.
My hero, yeah.
A little
Love
earlier.
that guy. Yes.
And he was mentioning how cool the pieces were, like the minis. Did you actually design those?
Oh, sure. No.
Okay.
No, I had very simple pawns, in the initial prototype and so on. The Cryptozoic did some really wonderful work. The graphic design, I just love the way the board looks. My initial prototype had a kind of a winding snake sort of track. It's a gravity-based game. Why wouldn't you think black hole, spiral, things like that? And they did. So I credit them for that. The ships, those are all original sculpts. I love the color choices. I love the way the ships look. And the Anyway, just the overall look and feel, they just did a great job.
Excellent. So just curious, as the creator and developer working with Cryptozoic, how much input do you have as to the final look of the game?
Well, the look, not so much. They were constantly telling me this, here's what the things look like and so on. And I can't think of, well, the only thing I did tweak was on the initial board, it did not have, there's an infographic on the board that shows the distribution of the cards. It's real subtle, it's in 2 corners.
Okay.
And I just suggested that is helpful to players so they know where the big cards are in the deck and how many of each type there are and things like that. And they said, oh yeah, right, good idea. So they incorporated that. But they made a lot of the really good choices in terms of, again, the spiral and the way the ships look, the color choices. I'm colorblind. Don't ask me to pick colors, right? So in the box, I just love the box cover.
So the game is available on a wide scale, or when will it be if it's not?
There's limited, copies right here.
Sure.
At Gen Con. They're saying 5-6 weeks it'll be in, but you can pre-order it now on your at your local game stores.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. GravWell. Go check it out. It looks really cool. From the floor of Gen Con, this is Ryan for D6 Mafia.